This live coverage is brought to you by the Film Crew. This live coverage is brought to you by the Film Crew.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Queenstown Arena, the battle between the SkyCity Stampede and the Canterbury Red Devils. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me I have Matt Chavez out of Christchurch. The two of us, the dynamic duel tonight. We're going to try and bring this game to you live and exciting. Matt, exciting times at the moment with the standings. Things have jostled around a little bit lately.
Well, came all this way to from Christchurch, drove all the way over here today just to tell you that if we happen to win both games, we actually jump you for first place.
Yeah, a lot of chance of that, yeah. Hometown advantage, come on. I mean, you know, I'm a good host, but not that good of a host to have you up here and speaking that sort of trash, you know.
Yeah, we got to start early. But it's been a very interesting time. I've been involved with the Devils for 7 seasons now. This is the first time they've been anywhere close to competitive at this level. And, you know, it was an interesting series. The first 2 games we played, we opened the season with you guys in Christchurch and held leads after the second period in both games. The difficulty was you outscored us 7-0 combined in the third periods.
All right, well, we'll get back to you very shortly with the game.
This live coverage is brought to you by the Film Crew.
Queenstown Arena. Well, you know, Matt, you spoke about the topsy-turvy behavior of the Christchurch Canterbury team. You know, the SkyCity Stampede have had a bit of a slippery couple runs. They've split their last two games up in Auckland, which is sort of not of their normal
unusual.
Nature. Unusual, yes. Yeah. Not. We don't take losing well.
Yeah, I've noticed that over the years.
Yeah. So, just a little update here. Tyler Hasselmore, head referee, and linesman will be Ben Rado and linesman Nick Flight. Ben and Nick Flight, local boys. So we're only moments away, less than a minute away from the puck drop. And a big thank you to you people that are listening. Couldn't get here, couldn't get the tickets, because it looks like a sold-out house tonight. As you notice, Matt, the rink closes in. When we first arrived, it was quite open, empty, and now you'll see this raucous Stampede crowd.
There is no space in this building at all. It's really neat to see how that happened in the course of a half hour.
Close proximity to the ice makes it even more daunting for the visiting team. And up here, being so close to me, it'll be daunting for you.
Yeah, I'm seeing that already.
We've locked the doors in the corporate box so that you can't get pushed out.
You've got a corporate box just like my corporate box, except yours is a bigger corporate box. I like it.
So we're up here. Oh, they're bringing us drinks now, so it's a lovely spot up here, warm. Big thank you to Joe and Emily, Joe on the camera, Emily doing the techno stuff, the machinery. Great to see. tonight's starting goaltender, I believe, is Joel Hasselmore for the Stampede.
Yep, and then you're taking on Tim Carey, who's got he's had about half the games so far. He's got a pretty good record going this year, so it'll be a good matchup. But for the Devils, they're missing a few defensive players for various reasons, so that's going to be interesting.
It's funny you say that. I believe both sides are running a little bit on a skinny bench. Great to see. You know, they're midway through the season. The boys should be fit. They have to be able to stand up to this.
They do.
I often say that it's not just a game. It's actually 2 games within 24 hours, which is 6 periods, which is a heck of a lot of hockey.
It's a lot of hockey, but I do expect this weekend we had a game the other day. It went 7-4, and I think the goaltenders were really the star of the show. And you wouldn't say that normally in an 11-goal game a couple of weeks back, but I think we might be in the same situation where the defense will play a big factor, but there will be a lot of goals at the same time.
We'll see how we roll on.
Yep. Yes. So I take the over on this one.
Could be, because Christchurch being second place, Stampede at the moment in first place, this could be a precursor to the actual final.
It could be.
I think
you're a little early on things, but I will say that the fact that we're talking playoffs at all for the team in red is it's a luxury, and we are enjoying it this season. The boys have been playing very well. Won 7 out of 8 coming into tonight, so we'll see how this goes.
All right, we're just seconds away from puck drop. Hasselmore, final checks. Puck dropped, rolls into Christchurch zone, neutral zone, or bobbles it along the boards. He's fighting against Harrison. Harrison carrying to the corner around the net. Trying to center, can't. Back to the point though, off a shin pad from Freer. And Eden controls in his own zone. Interception by Harrison over the blue line. Shot blocked. Puck bounces around on the blue line, batted back in. Neutral zone, Christchurch firing it down into Stampede area.
It was interesting. Van Sickle got caught off sides there, and that let them take the pedal off the gas for just a moment.
Yeah, just to get that all clear sign from linesman. Hurley can't clear. It rolls behind Hasselman. Freer bouncing dangerously onto the hash marks where Christchurch had an opportunity but couldn't quite get a full piece of it. And Burns pushes it up to Roby, to McCog, and it rolls behind Canterbury net. Up but not out. And Canterbury get control over the red line, fires it in. Carried behind the net. And into the corner. Amston rails it around behind the net. True to Roby. True. Off a skate right onto Hasselman. A little bit dangerous. Big lead pass to Skipper. Skipper over the red line. Fires a shot on. Carey covers.
Now I think we're seeing a little bit of strategy early on. There was some heavy forechecking. All 5 guys in the zone for the Devils up front, keeping the puck definitely on that side of the ice and giving the Stampede a lot of effort to get out of their zone. Playing quite high.
Yep, big full court press.
Full court press right away.
That's early for that. All right, face off in Canterbury zone to the right of Carey. Puck in the corner. Dodwell fires on net and covered up by Hasselman. First shot, I believe, on Hasselman there.
Yeah, first shot that wasn't deflected in. Dodwell with a long shot. I think he was looking for a rebound more than anything there. But the safe play gets him a face-off.
Yep, face-off to the right of Hasselman. Hasselmore. And referee or linesman didn't like that puck drop, so we'll try it again.
It was interesting. I don't think it was Perver. I mean, you don't see anybody on that sideline there. It's an interesting setup for the Devils. Offensively shot in quickly by Dodwell again.
Yeah. And Burns in his own zone. Carries blue line. Still carrying red line. Fires it to the corner. Giving chase. And Freer just tried that old sneaky one. Couldn't keep it in. Offside's the call. Giving the boys a chance to change horses.
So it's been a good tempo so far, but pretty much just up and down the ice, but not a lot of dangerous chances yet by either team.
Nothing too slippery.
Yes.
Back to True on the red line. True fires it, and Carey just covers up safely.
Yeah, Carey, he doesn't like to get rid of the puck. He also doesn't give up many rebounds, but he generally won't try to play it where you might see Niall Fanning will definitely try to chuck it out to the corners.
Warning.
That's a delay of game warning. That's a big deal if that happens again.
This early in the game, yes. Yep. All right, puck rolling all the way into, forcing Hassel and all the way out to clear it into Canterbury territory. And it rolls back into Stampede territory and kept in. Battling for it against the boards. And it rolls behind the net. Centering pass, shot, deflected wide. Back to the point. Another shot, just wide again. A bit of pressure here from Canterbury. Brown off the red line, fires it in. Stampede. Van Sickle just struggling there, kind of whiffed on his pass, so he carried, and bad timing on the blue line.
Yep, McCarr getting a little early on that one. The Devils with a couple of opportunities, but the good clearance so far by the Stampede defensively. That's another one.
Tyler Hasselmore giving a bit of a strum up there to the centering pair.
Yeah, they're not having any of it.
No.
There's been a lot of, everybody squeaking in a little bit, getting close to the face-off, but this is the first time I've seen them get particularly angry about the sticks.
Perhaps he's seen a YouTube clip on. All right, so Van Sickle rails it around behind the net. Burns to Roby. Roby's intercepted, shot, or picks up a puck in front and fires it. Haslam kicks it to the side. Stampede struggling to get it out of their zone as Burns is shoved off the puck, but it rolls around to Freer behind the net. That's Mitchell Freer, and also on the ice is Lockie Freer.
Chris Eden doing a double here and had himself a very good shift so far.
McCogg intercepting a pass, carries it in. Can't center. Behind the net, Freer. Freer intercepts Freer's pass. A little too soft. And Amston carries on the blue line. Red line. Cross to Mitchell Freer. Mitchell tries to line up a rolling puck, and nothing but air on that one as it bobbles to the corner. Bit of a scrum happening there. Banging it around in the corner.
Yeah, Jaden Skipper having another good game here. He was a menace the first weekend.
Yeah, well, that's a good description of Jaden. A menace. He's great. He's all over the ice, and he's got a pretty good shot too.
Yeah, he does have a banger of a shot. But he does get in and fight for pucks, and that made a really big difference in the games, pulling him out in the offensive zones.
A muscly dude. Oh, look, they're bringing us a tray of canapes. Oh, look at those. Those are great. Beautiful.
That is a veggie tray. At least in Philadelphia.
I'll wait for the salmon and meat tray. Face off to the right of Carey. Back to the point. Quick shot by Coyle. And it's in the corner. Amston rails it around, all the way around, forcing Skipper into the corner. And it's finally out to the neutral zone where Amston picks it up, fires it. And Carson Pratt can't control it. and it's batted onto Hasselman's stick behind the net. Amston. Carson Pratt being harassed. And a shot.
It is.
Scores! Big pressure just all over the Stampede. Stampede unable to get good control of the puck.
Yeah, that was a lot of forecheck by Fontaine doing a good job skating. That puck ended up on the Perver. Perver took a shot in, got a pad save, and a big rebound. Dodwell just knocks it home.
Yeah, that juicy rebound. Hasselman out of position, obviously trying to make that first save. But the proximity of the Canterbury team all over the Stampede, not letting them get control of the puck, good control of the puck. They've obviously been studying some film.
Oh, they always study film. The question is whether they can do anything about it. And your guys in yellow usually have the last word. And
yeah,
now we're 1-0 and we've got a lead in your building, so it is a change of pace.
Matt, it ain't gonna last. I'll eat my words. All right. And Canterbury red line, and it's picked up by Van Sickle. Freer's banged off the puck, and Burns with it now in his own zone. Burns starts to move up, tries to hit Harrison. Connor Harrison with it. Shot, narrow angle.
Absolutely fantastic skating by Harrison there. That spin and holding that puck as he went through. That was just a brilliant play. Just ends up somebody, who was it that got stuffed in the net there?
Van Sickle.
Yeah,
just
ends up the worse for wear as he wears the red pipe around him for a little while.
Yeah, he had a red jersey behind him and a red pipe in front of him. He didn't have much of a chance.
Not going anywhere good. But it'll be a face-off in your offensive end, so McCart's going to take that for you guys, and looks like you got your one line out there ready to go.
Ready to roll. Roby with it in the corner. Roby. And Canterbury clears it, and it bounces into Canterbury bench, so face-off will be back in. Oh, they're deciding where.
I
Back
thought that,
in.
based on where it went out, normally I think that'd be a neutral face-off, but apparently it went out on the turnbuckle side, if you will.
All right, so face-off to the left of Carey. Freer rails it around the net. Roby gives chase.
McCarg winging another one for the Stampede there.
McCog with it in the corner. Max McCog. He's got Freer back there with him behind the net. Roby gets bounced off the puck, but Amston's there to bang it back in. True with it on his own, on the red line. Amston takes it back into his zone, and True with it on the blue line. Fires across ice to Lockie Freer. Lockie Freer hits Harrison. Couldn't take a good reception of that. And Freer just dumps it in.
That was Harry Lowe with a clear double nickel for those of you at home. He forgot his shirt. Sorry. Had to call you out, Harry. Oh, that was a big hit there, too.
On the blue line. And Harrison feeds Burns. Burns over the red line. What's the defenseman doing way up there? Well done, Callum Burns. Boogie's all the way over the blue line. Takes a good, quick snapshot. But Carey's there to pick up the rubber.
Yeah, Burns has a really, he's got a turbo button, just like PlayStation. He just scoots immediately, but nobody to pass to there, 3-on-3, and forces him to shoot right at Carey, and Carey sees it the whole way.
All the way in. Harrison takes a shot, deflected. And it's bounced back up to Burns on the red line. Burns on the red line, fires it back in. Hurley giving chase, bangs it. Centering pass, no one there to pick that up. Deep slot was there. And cross ice, Van Sickle. Van Sickle, offside's the call. Van Sickle had a bit of time waiting to set something up.
Yeah, it was a late call for Hurley to be in offsides there. It was, I think that was what everybody was looking around for. I think everybody knew he was offside, but the whistle just came a couple seconds late.
Yeah. I guess the jerseys, they look so much alike.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Back to the Canterbury zone. Puck rolls off the boards. True. Can't hit Freer, and it rolls right onto Carey's stick, who puts it behind the net. Centering pass. Great rob by McCogg. And Freer taps it back to the point. Amston takes a shot on net. Puck bounces around and ends up off the pads, and Carey covers up.
Yeah, so the only reason it's not 1-1 at the moment is Mason Reese lifted a stick at the last second, and it was a great defensive effort to stop someone on the doorstep there. I didn't catch the jersey for the Stampede, but fantastic defensive play there, keeping it 1-0.
That's what a hockey game's full of, is those 1 moment, 1 second plays. Keeping it in is true.
Very true.
Or not.
Sorry. I'll be here all week.
Yeah, that's right. Try the lobster. All right, so the puck rolls out into the Canterbury zone.
Yeah, that went off Kaluzny, one of the new players for the Devils in from Russia.
True, cross ice. Amston skates it in, takes another shot.
That stayed in, too.
Yeah.
That didn't hit the net.
So a bit of a rebound behind the net. And who was that robbed behind the net? Great work, McCogg. McCogg, a one-man show there. Robbing, stick handling, shooting.
Yeah, he took that right off Daniel Monk there and got a good shot in on Carey, but Carey's still up to the task.
Big shout out to Irene. I know Cullen Burns' grandma is watching. Big shout out. She's a loyal fan, and a big thank you for watching, and to everybody else that's out there watching. Nigel, Rebecca, you guys are all probably watching this as Godwell trips, carrying over the blue line, and Stampede regains possession behind the net.
And they've got a delayed offsides on this, so they're going to let him out.
And Skipper with it now. Skipper fires it up ice, and it's deflected, so no icing's the call. Puck finally, as it rolls back in behind goaltender Carey. Canterbury into the neutral zone. Delamore over the blue line, and Perver takes a shot, deflected to the corner. Freer marches it out. Freer, cross ice. Harrison bumps it in behind the net. Can't clear it. Big harassment by Hurley. Big pressure. Finally, Canterbury, Atkinson gets to the neutral zone, but it's banged back into Canterbury territory. Back to the point. Amston fires a shot wide. Hurley. And it's bounced back into.
It's a hand pass. They're waiting on it to be picked up.
Oh, but it's waved off now.
Yep.
So
touched by the defense. George Hopkins there.
And here's a chance for Amston. Shot off a pad. Amston takes another shot off a pad. 3 times lucky. Nope.
2 shots and none of them got through to Carey. Whoa, there it went. Trying to kill you, Dave.
Yeah. We spoke earlier about the dangers of being an announcer. Not only be attacked by an angry mob outside that don't like us, which is most of Queenstown.
Yeah, that was close.
I just about took my head off.
It really did. How many times have you been hit in the box?
Yeah, a few times, but yeah, being an ex-hockey player, puck flying at your face is just part of life.
Yeah, I got one up in the Alpine ice. Took a good chunk of my leg, so I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Centering pass. Canterbury still keeping in great pressure, but they can't get that shot on net. Burns flips it out. McCogg to Freer. Lockie Freer. He's got Roby booging for the slot. Shot. Puck rolls around near the front, but Carey, eagle eyes, just drops on that, covers it up with his glove.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the fact that, they're basically rolling out only 3 defensemen for the Devils tonight, and so far, Carey's not seen a hefty shot. And a lot of that's come from everybody playing back and playing smart.
Yeah, I think, know a little bit of hockey that hopefully, it's early game.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see how it all ends up.
Yep.
So Canterbury marching it out. Eden over the red line, over the blue line. Fires a shot. Haslam takes that. Puck rolls up high, bouncing around in that Stampede zone, though. And Lockie Freer finally gets a piece of it and taps it all the way down. Big bouncing puck. And Canterbury changing horses as well as the Stampede. Canterbury centering, but no one there to get a piece of it, and Stampede take it all the way back down into Devils territory. Centering, fantastic work. CJ Kemp, young CJ Kemp, stick handling, but Carey just watching him like a hawk.
Yeah, Carey's if there was one thing you'd say about what he's got down, figured out, he is a great positional goaltender, and he followed it right across the crease there. Didn't give CJ anything to look at.
Cornelius Kemp off to the States soon, I understand.
Good for him.
Yeah. Puck rolling around in Devils territory, and Skipper just bats it back in. Hurley lined up a hit but missed, and allowing Canterbury to march it out. And it rolls behind Hasselman, picked up by True. True ends up on Brown's stick in the neutral zone. And just bouncing around back and forth in the neutral zone. True can't clear it. Ends up onto Van Sickle's stick. Centering pass. So it's Harrison that overskated that. But Harrison picks it up in his own zone. Over the red line. He's got Hurley moving in. Puck in the corner now. Bit of a bounce off. Point, shot, bouncing puck.
That's in his glove.
Beautiful save by Carey. That was quite just his eyes on that puck in a whole bunch of skates and legs.
Oh, he's good. He's very good at what he does. And again, he's in the right position as he follows that puck across the ice, even through traffic.
Heaps of traffic.
There was another good shift for Fontaine getting across with that pass. Hayden Bull doing a lot of extra work with Dan Nichols out tonight, but that was what he was looking for and wasn't there on that left side like it normally would be. So another opportunity by the boards for the Devils.
Corner. McCog battling for it. He's got Freer with him, and it rolls behind the net. And pass gone awry, and icing is the call.
Yeah,
Big chance to thank a couple of our sponsors here. Of course, the Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, Upholstery Workshop and Eventifying, the Impact, the film crew, big whoop whoop, Joe and Emily. We'll carry on with some more of those in a moment. Face off to the left of Carey. Puck slides into the neutral zone. Freer, Burns. Burns taps it up to Lockie Freer. But Dodwell and Canterbury in that zone. One-time shot. Puck bouncing around. Good save through a bit of... Oh. So, I'm not sure what he's signaling.
Yeah, that was an inadvertent whistle. Perver took a shot. It went off Hasselman and was still in play, but the whistle came, so...
That bouncing puck bounced right onto Perver's stick,
Yep.
and Hasselman did very well to get that leg out of his to make that save.
Yeah, and it wasn't accidental. That was actually a good pass from Daniel Monk to get it out to Perver there for that opportunity. Good save by Hasselman.
Face off to the left of Hasselman. Puck bounces up, but not out. And finally cleared by Stampede. Reese, spinorama, fires it into SkyCity zone. Skipper hits Burns on the red line. Burns with it, controlling along the boards, centering, Skipper taps it in to a mess of a whole collection of Canterbury players. And Burns over the red line, dumps it in, giving them a chance for a change. Looks like Carson Pratt hammering at it in the corner.
Great work taking on a smaller Mason Reese there. And Reese managed to hold it away from him just enough.
And True forced all the way back down behind his net. Harrison with it. Connor Harrison hits Hurley, who does the tap and chase. And Van Sickle chasing on the other corner. Monk can't, kind of whiffs on his shot, and it ends up in the neutral zone where Amston picks it up. Harrison and Apps taps it into Stampede area. End-to-end hockey at the moment. One time, Apps one time. And Stampede just tap it out. Van Sickle giving chase. Van Sickle harassing the defenseman. But they get it to the neutral zone. Brown with it now. Brown off of Roby's skate and bounces into the corner. And Roby's gives a little bit of chase. Brown taps it up to Eden. And it finally rolls into behind Hasselman into SkyCity territory. Burns, red line, blue line, marches through a couple Canterbury. Centering pass, rebound, no one there. Little toe save, I believe, by Carey.
Yep.
But he left it there, but nobody there to pick that up. Freer tapping it around in the corner. Rolls up and kicked in. Lockie Freer shot. Waved to the side by Carey. And Canterbury rolling out, neutral zone. Tapping it up but not out. And Mitchell Freer in the corner. Puts it all the way into Brown's stick on the red line. Brown dumps it where it's fought for by Skipper and Freer. And Mitchell Freer over the blue line. Another defenseman skating in deep. Mitchell Freer tries the wraparound, but Carey's way too old of a goalie to fall for that old chestnut.
He's a grand total of 19 years old.
And so we have a battle for it behind the net. Centering shot, beautiful glide save by Carey across the net. How he moved that fast, I don't know.
He read that play very well.
Roby puts it up and just off the stick of Carson Pratt, so icing's the call.
That shouldn't be an icing. It was going straight to a Canterbury player, so we'll see if that holds up. I guess they're not complaining too much about it, but yeah.
Unfortunate for the Stampede, but face-off will be to the left of Hasselman. Great pressure. Back to high slot shot. Amston up but not out. And Freer Coyle picks up the puck on the blue line. Turned around quickly. Canterbury marches it in. Easy save. And Lockie Freer with it now for Stampede. Dumps it up to the red line. Coyle. Delamont over the blue line. Shot. Ball one. Glove save by Hasselman.
Yeah, some solid skating by the Devils in that shift. And I should probably call out Sean Brown's had himself an excellent game so far, even though an excellent but quiet game. He's had a couple of good clearances and a good work rate, but it hasn't flashed yet. But knowing him, that's coming.
Back to shot. Puck behind the net, or Freer with it. Burns. Can't clear as Van Sickle. Up to Connor Harrison. Feeds Hurley. Shot. Kick to the corner. And big lead pass to Eden. Big.
He hit the post.
That you just can't leave Chris Eden out there like that.
He's the league's all-time scorer.
Yeah, slippery dude, especially in a position like that. That was a great eyes, great work by Canterbury.
You know, Eden actually had 3 shots there, just didn't quite capitalize on anything until the third one, and it's just barely off with that backhand. But he's definitely doing a great job of taking the opportunity when he gets it.
Stealth-like. You know, we've been yakking. It's already only a minute left in this, minute 9 left in this period. No penalties. Just, I don't know, there hasn't been that many whistles, Matt.
No, not many whistles. Nobody in the box. Just 1 goal on the board and a solid first period of smart play by both teams.
Lockie Freer with it, boogieing down that left side. Freer rolls behind the net and bouncing puck in the corner. And it fired all the way down, forcing Amston. And Brown picks it up on his own blue line, takes it into his zone. Cross ice. Bit of forechecking there by Kemp. And covered up. End-to-end hockey.
Yeah, Hayden Bull with a long pass there and a cover up to force Hasselman to close that one up. And we are down to just 22 seconds. Is that how that scoreboard reads over there? 22.3, is that how that works?
Yep.
There you go. You have fancy stuff here.
Yeah, well, time is a little different. I know it works a little differently in Christchurch. Time stands still in Christchurch sometimes. In old shaky town.
Oh, I think everybody in town just had either a groan or a laugh knowing that there's a lot of truth to that.
All right, face off to the left of Hasselman with only seconds left in the period. But we know that things get dropped. And finally, Skipper gets control of it. Pumps it up. And Reese picks it up in his own zone.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
And Reese puts it up, and that's it. Wow. Let's just spend 10, 15 seconds on a recap. Tell me what you're thinking about this. First of all, this end-to-end period, Matt.
Yeah, so the Devils are playing the game that they have been playing all year long. And it is a smaller rink, but it's very similar to the one that they have in Christchurch, so there's nothing unusual about it for them. And they're making smart changes, smart passes. They're not getting caught in their back third. And they just haven't turned anything into anything too spicy outside of that single goal, which was an excellent 3-on-2 that worked out really well. But in turn with that, given the personnel that are missing so far, the defensive side of things, really good job. Whereas the Stampede, they've been playing very good defensively. They did give up the goal, but the biggest thing for me was you didn't see, once they got it, the dump and chase play that they did for most of the middle of that period didn't really pay off for them, except for when you had Skipper really digging things out. Once that stopped, so did the offense.
Yeah, I think my 2 seconds or 2 cents worth is on, and 2 seconds is it'll be energy. Both skinny benches, end-to-end hockey, burns out the legs. The only thing worse than that is penalty killing, which who knows. We'll just see what happens in the second period.
And swap benches too, long changes.
The long shift. So I'm Dave Dubnik, and with me I have
Matt Chavez,
and we will be back to you with the second period. back at the Queenstown Arena, the battle between SkyCity Stampede and the Canterbury Red Devils. Canterbury up by 1. We're in the second period. First of all, I just want to thank the people here in the corporate box. My goodness, is that crab or lobster on these crackers? I'm not sure. Delicious. A fine choice of wine to go with it. We're just sitting here nibbling in this warm, lovely place here, waiting, just chatting about, and we get to watch. We've got all the other sports games on here. We're watching on these other TVs. It's an amazing opportunity up here. So anyone that's interested in having a life of, wanting to have a life of commentating, the pay is fantastic, Matt. You get to travel around the world. Spectacular. So what your coach, Canterbury's coach, what do they say? What does he say in the dressing room? What are you thinking? What do you think he's going to be?
Anatoly's probably going to be saying, he's going to be saying, good job, first of all, come out here and just handling business to start with. But I think knowing Anatoly's style, he's probably just doing everything he can to just tell everybody what's going on. He doesn't seem to be the fiery kind of guy. He's not Newt Rockne, football coach sort of thing. He's just very down to earth. But he's the national coach, so it's kind of you need to be.
Yep. Normal order of business.
Yep. Just take care of business.
Yeah, take care of business. It's I think Cam Freer is the same way. Just the idea of just steady as she goes, boys. It'll come. Both, like you say, both benches a little bit skinny. They're still running their 3 defense, which on Canterbury.
Well, that's all they've got dressed.
Yeah.
So I would imagine the adjustments will just basically be to a little bit less on the cross ice stuff this period, but we'll see how that breaks out.
Right, with that also with the long change, that'll be an eye opener. We'll see how we go. Puck drop, and Carey bats it to the corner. Battling for it is Connor Harrison in the corner, rails it around, ends up on the blue line. Shot, rebound. Connor Harrison just couldn't get a piece of it, and Lockie Freer was there. Great work by Carey.
Lockie with a fantastic wrist shot there, but Carey seeing that the whole way, didn't get any traffic in front of him. So a good reflex save by Tim. Not Jim. I saw that on the whoever put that on the chat. It is not Jim Carey. It is Tim Carey. Just clear that air.
Or Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Moving
on. Apps bats it in to the corner. Freer gives chase. And Harrison can't clear it. Picked up by, is that Eden?
Yep.
Who fights for it in the front. High shot over the net. And Connor Harrison up but not out. Finally gets it out. And he gives chase. Kept in. Lockie Freer fires it around behind the net. And Brown with it now. Brown in the corner. Up to Eden. Eden rails it up onto the blue line where Amston fires it up. Neutral zone. Canterbury marches it in, controls the puck behind the net, fires it in front, can't get picked up, where Roby picks it up and fires up to Van Sickle, and icing is the call.
Yeah, Bull with a good opportunity there, but Hasselman up for the task, and it's going to just be an icing clearance, so the boys in yellow stay out.
Stuck out there.
Although they both just got a change, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference on this one, but Bull to take this one. Fontaine, look for him to get a quick shot after a win here.
We'll see what, we'll see. Stampede's puck rolls around, Fontaine taps it into the corner, where Burns picks it up, fires across ice, hits Roby. Roby boogies against the boards and still controlling in the corner. Losing it behind the net now. Puck rolls around on the blue line. Cleared out. True forced to chase into his own zone. True. Amston losing it. Just whiffing on that. And it rolls behind the net where Hurley fires it to the blue line. Roby picks that up, and Van Sickle gives chase to the corner. Brown can't clear it. And fired back in behind the net. Van Sickle with it, controlling in the corner, still controlling. Finally bumped off the puck. Where Amston picks it up. Amston on the blue, shot through a whole bunch of bodies right on the target, but Carey's there to pick that up. Burns with it in his own zone, spins around all the way in and tries to tap his own rebound in, but Carey's there to cover that up, Matt.
Yeah, Carey came out a little bit. Burns got a hold of him, but no harm, no foul there. Fontaine with a good shift, but his pass coming out, he looked up a little bit too early and gave that up, so a couple of good opportunities for the Stampede in sequence there. Carey doing a very good job keeping this one-goal lead for the Devils.
Freer.
That was a great no-look pass, by the way. Got Dallimore off his skates there.
And it's railed around the boards, bit of bumping and shoving, and Carey forced to cover up. Just a sliding puck made it all the way to Carey.
Yeah,
he didn't expect it to get there, I don't think.
No, and I think Skipper was just looking for anything opportune as he shoved the stick right at it, but couldn't quite get there in time. And everybody over the boards for the team in yellow.
They all count the same. Ugly goals and pretty goals. They all count the same.
But they remember differently.
Yes. Kept in by Amston. Behind the net. Into the corner. Kept in by Freer, or not really, where Fontaine. Dodwell puts it into Stampede territory. Centering off a skate. Coyle rails it. Huge feed up to Harrison. Harrison shot! Great glove deflection by Carey. There was a big piece of net there, but I think Carey left it open just to tempt Harrison to take that shot. Coyle forced back into his own zone. Bangs it off the glass, and it rolls onto the blue line, where Amston now has it. Amston over the blue line. Shot. Scores! Lickety split, and there it goes. Upstairs where Norman keeps his mother. It looked like nothing.
It was nothing. It's apparently I know what your guys talked about after the first period in the locker room, and that is Carey's right shoulder going high over there. Well, that is probably his most needs improvement area, but he still was in the right spot. He just didn't quite get that one, and he probably thought that was going over the crossbar, but a good goal, and we tied it up here in Queenstown.
But that shows you Amston, it wasn't a big windup, just a little quick snapshot. I'll bet you it had some pepper on it if you were down there looking.
Well, that, and they also had a 3-on-2 that was a bad play by the Devils.
All right, well, we'll see. This changed the momentum.
Yep.
So we've got 15:40 left in the second period, and Canterbury in their own zone. Hurley dogging, and Freer keeping it in. Rails it around, where Roby says hello along the boards. Shot, good save by Hasselman. Kept in by Brown, taps up, but Freer does a good job of pushing that into the neutral zone. Now, Burns behind his own net. Roby tries to, gets tackled. No penalty on that. Looking for something, but not happy. And a bit of bumping and shoving. Ball with it. And it feeds Brown. And Brown pushes it all the way up. Icing is waved off. It's cleared up and out. As Stampede are changing a couple players. And Hasselman saves, drops. Freer picks it up. Burns with it. Burns little flick pass. Bouncing. Hits. Carson Pratt. Skipper takes a shot. Carries all over that. Carson Pratt to True. True off a skate. And it rolls to the corner. Canterbury under a little bit of pressure. as Kemp keeps it in. And it's bouncing around. And finally cleared to the neutral zone. Burns carries to his own zone. All the way back behind the net. Wait for the boys to set something up. Full court press there.
Yeah, Kaluzny and Fontaine up high, and it's worked so far. It was a turnover in neutral that actually gave them the 3-on-2. So I think they're sticking with the game plan here.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Canterbury just to the blue line, and it's a neutral zone battle. Finally, it rolls behind the net where Hasselman feeds to Amston, loses it on the red line. McCog dumps it in. Canterbury behind the net, trying to set it up. Amston. Just a little bit mixed up. Just neutral zone angst.
Yeah, nobody wanting to make any mistakes here.
By doing that, though, they're all making mistakes.
That's very true. Lots of small ones. Nothing leading to a big opportunity yet. Gallimore with a 1-on-2, though.
Gallimore being pressured by Freer, but looks for the change. Fires it in, looks for the change. Freer. Big saucer pass. Great work by Lowe. Remembering that Lowe's changed his jersey to number 55 tonight. Don't know. Is it still in the wash, do you think?
Well, I'm going to not comment on that one.
I shouldn't have said anything either.
No,
Sorry.
He probably
Josh.
earned it. I mean, imagine the ribbing he's going to take.
Yeah. If there's if you have to wear a funny hat or something for the weekend because you did something silly, that could be it.
Yep. So, yeah, the Devils are, well, they've given up a couple of opportunities. You put one away. But otherwise, it's the long shifts but shorter passes thus far. And like you said, a lot of mistakes, but a lot of small mistakes, not leading to much offense here.
Yeah, neutral zone stuff happening. Freer with it now. Freer.
That big
Beautiful
deflection.
work. Roby looking for the deflection. Just caught Carey's shoulder. Nice work there. Roby having a stunner of a game at the moment. Then Sickle back to on the point. Puck bouncing it around in front.
That's a goal.
And it's a goal. And it's a goal. It's a goal. Rolling around. That's Hurley. Josh Hurley. So excited. Sadly, Carey had most of the puck, but he left a little bit out.
Well, it's funny because he couldn't really control it because it caught his sleeve on the loose part of it, so he didn't really feel where it was going, and you could see him searching for it and trying to get over it. Couldn't do it in time.
He's also tangled up in a bit of clutter too,
Yep.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
So unfortunate. Like we talked about earlier, that pretty goals count the same as not so pretty goals, ugly goals. But yeah,
Good
that
good
closing
team
in
goal, yeah.
and showing that shots, rebounds, that's what gets you goals. Or with it over the blue line, Eden slams on the brakes, shot right on Hasselman's pads, who covers that up, forcing a face-off in the SkyCity Stampede zone.
Yeah, I think the Devils are just kind of waking up to the fact that they're finally not in the lead here or not even. They're behind, and they're starting to play with a little bit more emphasis as they come up ice as opposed to looking for sideways passes coming out.
Skating with purpose.
And north-south.
Nigel, nice to hear you're watching this game. It's nice to see your Thunder team has got a win on the board, which is really nice to hear. Puck floating around in front of Carey. And another shot. Those bobbly shots, they're dangerous. He'll cover that, but that rebound or deflection is going to cause problems with the clutter in front of the net.
Yeah, tapped stick on the shot, so kind of floated in on Carey. Luckily, he was able to glove it easily, but those are the ones that you have enough of them, and one of them will bounce funny for you.
Yeah, the old knuckler in baseball terms.
Yep.
Shot. Freer scores! Lucky Freer puts a postage-sized hole off of Carey's corner, off his shoulder. Good heavens.
Yeah, that went over his left shoulder, and a great shot right off, just a quick wrist and a very tiny window, like you're saying there. He hit it perfectly in order to score that goal.
Again, another quick snapshot, not a big windup, but he's got a bit of power in that.
Yeah, and they're going over to talk to Tim, telling him, you know, it's a team game, they'll get it back. But the way that they're looking right now, the team in yellow's got some momentum.
Yep. Canterbury's going to have to stop that momentum, turn it around. We've got 11 minutes and 8 seconds left. Harrison centering. Freer taps it to the corner, where McCog kicks it around to the other side. Back to McCog, but intercepted. And kept in by Cole. Beautiful backhand work by Cole to keep it in. Centering, no one there to pick it up. Went through the skates of perhaps Harrison or Freer. Or McCog, I mean. And Amston carries to his own zone. Lucky Freer to the red line. And it's batted back in.
Reese trying to get a body on that play and completely whiffed. But
Amston over the blue line.
Interesting to see Mason Reese getting a lot more ice time today. Out of necessity, but also because he's playing better.
Centering. Big fight for it in front. Coyle takes a shot. Puck bouncing off a couple skates in front of the net and carried up. And Dallimore over the blue line now. Dallimore centering. And Godwell centering. No one there for that. And Burns takes it comfortably behind his own net.
Yeah, Dallimore usually has a speed advantage, but up against Burns, he's been pretty even, and it's prevented from some speed from coming in on the offensive zone for the Devils.
And Carson Pratt there all by himself looking for someone to pass to. Finally, Freer skates in. Shot. Pressure. And Apps and Kemp, I believe, battling for it there in the corner. Bouncing off our low ceiling. That's one of the trademarks of the Queenstown Arena, the low beams.
Yeah, it's definitely a cozy arena as far as height is concerned. So this one out to neutral because of that.
Hurley facing off. He's got Van Sickle and Roby. And Hurley takes it to the corner. Still has it, being dogged heavily. And we have a hooking. I think Hurley was playing a bit of an old trick there, but unlucky. First penalty of the game, which is pretty good. Or we'll get a hook.
He got Orr for 2 minutes there on it. Was kind of a veteran play in that sense, but I think Orr's been around long enough that he would have known that was coming. He just really had to, you know.
Let go of the stick.
Yeah,
you know.
let go.
What do they say? Tangle lip in the clothing, I think it was.
Yeah, we'll go with that. What everybody says.
Yeah, that old chestnut. So here's a chance for the Stampede.
Yeah, that clearance hit a linesman there, which really helped the Stampede there.
Burns to McCog, who can't get a whole handle on it. And it's railed, but not up, but not out. We're shot by Freer, and it's off the timber.
Yeah, another one. It's interesting, the Devils not going directly to a box. They're playing more of a man floater out there. It almost looks like a 5-on-3 kill with somebody going out just being aggressive. So we'll see if they continue that. I doubt they will.
And that's got to be hard, you know, because that burns up legs. That, you know.
Yeah, they have a young line out there killing too. That does help, but it will eventually get to you.
Yeah, Burns. Harrison.
See Kaluzny not going out there, so they are backed into a zone.
Back to Burns. Burns. Harrison. Great work by Canterbury. Just keep pushing them out. You're not going to score from back there. Burns takes the shot, but carries all over that like ugly on an ape.
That's a win for the Devils. Just if they're just passing it around, can't do anything, and you just get a weak wrister from the blue line, you take that every time.
Yeah. Yeah, every second counts. 1 minute, 8 seconds left in the penalty, and 8 minutes and 16 seconds left in this second period. 3-1 if you've just tuned in. If you've just tuned in, where the heck have you been for a period and a bit? Good heavens, nothing's as important as this. Amston off a pad. Burns along the blue line. Feeds McCog, who slowly moves in. Oh, pipe rings the bell. Amston on the point. Lockie Freer centering. And tic-tac-toe. Just like we didn't do it in practice. That was picture perfect.
Yeah, the big problem there is you finally got a pass that changed direction. Carey can't get there in time because that's going straight across the slot. Mason Reese fell in on the cheating on the zone, left his man, and
got dragged. Yeah, got dragged in. And McCog just, one-times it.
And that's 4 goals in a row for the Stampede. For as much as we had the lead for the Devils in the first period, it just feels like a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, a whole period ago. Amston, true. So that wipes up the penalty. And now we're 5-on-5. CJ Kemp in the corner. And Carson Pratt does a spinorama. Kept in by Amston. Shot off an ankle. Bounces to the boards. It's railed around. Kemp fires it back around, forcing Skipper to chase. But finally, Reese moves it up over the red line. Reese gives a little tap, sort of a centering tap, but True moves it out, and it rolls behind to the corner. Canterbury controlling in Stampede area. And Amston with it. Big lead pass to Kemp, can't get a handle on it. And True taps it up to Skipper, but he can't handle that as it rolls up. And Canterbury over the red line, dump it in. Chance to change Godwell. And Bo Fontaine pushes it to the corner. True loses it behind the net. Godwell. Finally, Van Sickle ends up on the blue line with it. Van Sickle over the red line, fires it in off a stick, rolls to the corner. Rolling puck on Burns' stick now. And Burns fires it up off the boards. Fontaine, blue line. Rubbed up just enough to get knocked off the puck by Burns. And Roby does a little flick. It's a bit of hustle from Van Sickle, who actually gets a shot on net with a swing. More of a one-handed swing, but Carey's forced to cover up.
That pass out of the back third was absolutely fantastic as it crossed up the Devils' defensive players coming at the puck, which turned what was kind of a benign 2-on-2 into a very dangerous 2-on-2. Gets all the way in on Carey, and Carey didn't quite close that one, so he's a little bit lucky here.
Face off to the left of Carey. Freer. Big hit. Big bounce off the boards. And McCog to Freer. Freer back to McCog in the corner. Back to Freer, who can't handle it. Big chase for it now. Big chase. Apps can't get the pepper to get it. And Freer taps it back into the neutral zone. Lockie Freer just bats it at the net. It rolls to the blue line where Apps carries. Now Stampede's doing a little bit of forechecking.
And the Devils playing with fire here, not getting it out of the zone. 4 opportunities to do so.
Eden 2-on-2. And Apps follows up. Had a great opportunity. Couldn't quite get a handle on it as Eden takes it to the corner. Oh,
that's
a
pipe.
bell ringer.
Yep.
That's pipe, yep. Great shot from the point. And McCog ended up with a puck in his clothing and just fell out and he batted at it, and it rolls all the way down the ice for icing, which traps them
A smart play for the Stampede to get that icing done. They really needed some relief there with the top line for the Devils just firing on all cylinders there. Apps just had that puck bounce, and I think we're seeing some warm weather have an effect on this game. 13 degrees in Queenstown today.
Yeah. Balmy 13. Just less snow here today.
Yeah, a lot less. But it's interesting, just the dynamics of the puck just bouncing off sticks a lot this period. Just not a lot of solid shots, but like you said, everything's kind of just worked out thus far with some ugly goals, but they count exactly the same.
Two bell ringers, 2 off the post
Yep.
in this period where just another coat of paint could have changed things, or one less coat of paint. And Monk bangs it into Stampede area where Burns hammers on the brakes on the red line. Being really harassed, but he finally moves it in. Puck rolling around in front, easily controlled by Canterbury, and it ends up on Amson's stick, down by his net. Burns, big pass up. Carson Pratt, who taps it to the corner.
Yeah, the Red Devils with a very defensive posture at the moment. It's interesting to look at. You can tell it's definitely their third line out there deciding not to make any big mistakes. But there's no offense coming out of this line at the moment.
Right, now an icing, trapped in their own zone with the third line out there, you think?
Yeah, that was, it's just some relief there, but I think they need to get off the ice. I think they're starting to feel it.
Low down, and is that Brown helping out on the far side? But
yeah, Brown's had a lot of ice time as well.
Shot off a stick, back to Cole. Cole off a skate, back to the corner. Kemp working it around where Skipper picks it up into the corner. Centering, puck bouncing, and tapped down into the neutral zone. Amson picks it up.
I'd say Carson Pratt got away with one there too.
What, Carson Pratt did something?
No comment, right?
Right. Centering pass, Skipper couldn't quite get there. Shot, narrow angle, but a funny bounce, pushes it in front, and Canterbury finally cleared out. Struggling in their own zone at the moment. Just maybe getting a bit tired. I don't know, with 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in this. And Sickle feeds Hurley, who taps it into the corner. Battling for it in the corner. No penalty called as Hurley dumped on his butt. Lead pass. Burns gives a little bit of a press. And Canterbury with it in the SkyCity zone, but it's turned around. Roby over the red line. Shot. Shot again. And battling for it. And finally, Carey covers up.
That's the second big rebound he's given up in the last couple of minutes.
He had that in his glove. It's not like him to just let it bounce out of his glove like that.
Yeah, that was just one of those that he thought he had it and he didn't, and it came out pretty hot and juicy for a rebound there.
Another shot was on him, but I mean, just because it's a rebound doesn't mean you're automatically goal. We're looking at a 4-1 game with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second period.
The second period's really shifted the complexion of this game entirely.
Only one penalty in this whole 2 periods.
Yep, just the hook. And it's been a clean game, but that I think actually has played into the advantage of the Stampede. They've had 5 out there all afternoon.
Stampede is such a clean team, you know, constantly playing above board at all times. Stop laughing.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave that there. I just thought I saw an interference, but we'll just get past that, move on. 2 minutes to go in the second period.
Oh, those Canterbury eyes are starting to focus, are they?
Yeah, suddenly.
Burns dumps it in with 1 minute 48 left. And Orr with it in the corner, battling against Lockie Freer. Orr losing it to McCogg, I believe, who's dumped on his butt. Huge pressure. McCogg trying to go upstairs with about 1 meter off of Carey's glove. Shot, tapped, puck rolling around in front. Wonderful cover up by Carey. He had Lockie Freer like a seagull on a fish and chip, old fish and chip packet, ready to pounce, but he gobbled that up.
Yeah, Carey he got left alone there for just a minute. Let McCark just walk in on that shot for no. I just think it was a mistake on which person they took, and they left the puck handler all alone there. Yeah, they get away with one.
Everybody took a man except for the puck handler.
It's kind of one you want to.
The guy that
pick up.
Yeah, the important one. So we have less. I'll say it in 3 seconds, less than a minute, as Kemp is offside still, and offside as it is. CJ Kemp chasing a puck in, and the puck rolled out, but Carson Pratt, I don't think saw CJ. Great defense by the Canterbury Red Devils to force that play. Face off in the offside dot with 50 seconds. Amston to Skipper. Just got a piece of it, but not enough to control it.
Kaluzny finally drew a penalty here against Pratt. Carson Pratt's going to go to the box for, I think, interference here. Or a hook, one or the other. Yep, it's a hook.
So this period showed a lot more goals and a couple penalties, so it's a different period.
Yep, looks like a hockey game now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Stay tuned for the hockey.
Yeah. So 35 seconds to go. So this one's going to split the periods if we don't get a goal on the end of the second here. And this is the big opportunity for the Devils to get something going here in the second. That's a rough turnover, killing a lot of time. Yep. Great play by the Stampede there.
Brown being harassed by McCog. And Brown marks it up blue line. Lead pass. Picked up by the Devils over the blue line, or left a little bit alone there. Back to Brown. Brown.
10 seconds to go.
And it's kicked out. Great work by Connor Harrison. Great defense. But he's taking it in the ankle. And it's a clearing shot. And offside's the call, I guess.
Why would they would? That's inadvertent. They called icing just because they're used to it. But yeah, that's going to go to center. But there's only 0.2 seconds on the board, so
yeah, let's just wrap this up, boys. Surely they'll just end the game.
You would think, but they should be dropping this at center ice as well.
Yeah. I thought it might have been an offside because Stampede did have a line change at that same time, or had a changing person. But
the reflexes of a linesman.
Yeah. Muscle memory.
So that'll end the second period. There it is. Ceremonial drop.
Yeah. Who gets to keep the puck? Well, that's it for the second period. It's 4-1. We have Stampede down a player, so we'll be 5-on-4 when we come back for 1 minute 25 seconds. Looks like an exciting third period. We'll be back to you with the third period shortly. I'm Dave Dubnick.
And I'm Matt Chavez. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome back, everybody, to the Queenstown Ice Arena. I don't say that very often. Matt Chava is here. Dave will be joining us shortly. We've just had 2 periods of action here in Queenstown, and the SkyCity Stampede have turned this game completely around from the first period. After an early goal by the Red Devils, just about 5 minutes in, and holding a lead for a good portion of the first period, the Stampede have come back with 4 straight goals, making this a 4-1 game. The redeeming moment for the Devils here just might be coming back out on the ice with an 85-second power play to try to get one back here. But without anything changing momentum-wise, the team from Christchurch is looking at a very scary third period at the home of the SkyCity Stampede here in Queenstown. I think we can go through the stats here as well in just a minute, but the hometown crowd having their moment of karaoke, if you can hear that, but we'll have Dave joining us just a moment. But the last goal, it was a Dodwell goal for the Devils in the first period, 5:38. After that, we had Stefan Amston with the equalizer just 4 minutes in. Hurley from Freer and Van Sickle for the second. And then Freer and McCarg for the third. First penalty after that was Joe Ward taking a hooking call right in front. That led to a power play goal by Max McCarg from Freer and Anston. And Carson Pratt took the penalty as we went into the second intermission. And that's where we stand right now. 5-on-4 is how we're going to start. And Dave is going to tell us all about.
Well, first of all, the reason why I didn't come on immediately is you guys don't realize here in this corporate box they have a meal, and I had taken too much time eating my meal. I had to choke down the rest of this venison back steak and lobster. You guys treat us so well here at Queenstown. Amazing. We get to travel all around the world, and Queenstown corporate box has got to be one of the best, Matt. Holy moly. Now I'm just stuffed full. All right, so yes.
I won't. I'll just leave that crudité all by itself, and we'll get back at it here with the power play team on the ice for the Red Devils. Rested and ready to go. Try to get this back to a 2-goal game as a 4-1 right now, and it's looking a little ugly for the team in red at the moment. They've got to turn it around. I'm nervous that with tired comes mistakes and perhaps a bit of aggression. We'll see what happens. We got Eden and Brown in the backfield with Apps and who is it on the far side? Brown or Delamore. Oh, Delamore in there for the fifth. On the front side there. So, which is unusual. Delamore doesn't normally come out on the first power play line, so it'll be interesting to see how they put this together. Aiden, blue line, kept in. A high zone by the Stampede here. Pushing hard, and they get control. Kept in, though. Great glove by Eden. And Brown, back to Brown. Off a stick, bounces to the corner. Eden gives chase. Apps begging for it on the left side here. Apps with it, Apps to the corner. Orr spins, tapped off his stick by Burns, but not out. Brown catches that. Eden skates it in front. Big backhand, kept in by Brown. Little out of position is the Stampede, but tapped up but not out. Brown keeping it in as Apps cross ice to Eden. Eden marches it in, whiffs on a shot, finally cleared out, giving the Stampede a break, as well as Canterbury. Brown behind his own net, being dogged by Connor Harrison. Ball, red line. And Connor Harrison fires it all the way down on net. This puck's off a skate. McCog with it on the boards. Working it across ice to Harrison. Harrison shot! Gloved up and gobbled up by
Carey.
Yeah, right in on Carey's logo. Nothing doing there. It's very fortunate that the Stampede got to keep that in because it hit a linesman's skate and stayed in and allowed for that shot to happen. Quick conversation with Carey. I don't know if he's fixing his glove, but I guess we're ready to go.
Face off to the left of Carey. Penalty's over.
Yeah.
Puck kept in. Shot. Freer picks up a bouncing shot and turns it into a shot on just wide of the net. We're forcing Carey to glove that.
Yeah, Maxim Kaluzny with a good defensive effort to kind of slap at the stick and make sure that that didn't have any power on it.
Or direction, yeah. Yep. Into the corner where McCog taps it back. And it's kept bounced up but not out. And Amston collects it. Hits Freer.
It's Kaluzny making himself just a bit of an annoyance to everybody right up there. Number 44, he's the one without the nameplate. One of two.
But he didn't forget his jersey at home.
No.
Lowe's going to really be angry at us by the time this conversation's over. Enough about the jersey.
Yeah. That's another one off the skates of the linesman there. He's
in a wrong place.
Yeah, he really is. Needs to jump a little bit more.
Yeah. All right, Freer with it. Freer over the red line. Shot! Easy stick save by Carey, and it ends up on Brown's stick behind the net. Brown trying to do a little head nod there, a little, you know where I want you to go. And icing is the call. Fontaine couldn't boogie fast enough.
Yeah, Brown was trying to get somebody to decide which side they were going to go three players on, and he couldn't really get the head fake to work, and that worked out for an icing in favor of the Stampede.
Calling an audible. Carson Pratt facing off for SkyCity. Face off to the left of Carey. 17 minutes. So we're early in the third. And icing.
Yeah, Atkinson throwing it all the way down again. I think he was just looking for something to get a line change, but wasn't on target.
Yeah. Too much pepper on it.
Yeah, that's the hardest one to do. If you're way back there, you're just trying to put one on the goalie so you get a free change. And it's not the easiest shot.
It's a long way down the ice. And
that one's going to go for the same thing.
It's off a skate, I think. Nope. Icing is the call. I thought it went off skipper's skate, but. So they're kind of hemmed in there for a couple whistles.
Yeah, but this is exactly what they need. A couple of whistles will actually give them a chance to get some oxygen, get the lactic acid out of the legs, which they desperately need at this point because they are certainly not turning anything into offense at this point.
Lactic acid, Dr. Matt, online right now. If you have any other medical questions,
ask Dr. Google, not me.
Dr. Matt. Lactic acid, well done. All right, Van Sickle fires it, intercepted by Brown. Brown over the blue line. Red line starts to put some heat on. Coyle lines him up, but misses completely.
A couple of really nifty stick moves by Brown, too, to make that happen.
Puck in front. And Coyle fires it up. off of Reese's skate, and a little bit of miscommunication. Ends up with a puck way in the wrong place, on the wrong stick.
Hampston with a good play there to keep it in the zone, too.
Bouncing puck dangerously in front of Carey. Dodwell fires one wide. Hurley can't get it out, and it's dumped back in. Coyle gives chase to the corner, fires it up where Roby picks it up along the boards. Over the red line, fires it down around, giving the boys a chance for a line change. Off a skate on the blue line. Burns sees some open ice. Over the blue line, fires a shot. Wide. Harrison tries to tap it to the corner, can't. Perver up but not out. Freer takes a shot of a bouncing puck, and it's still bouncing. Forcing Mitchell Freer into the neutral zone. Takes the red line, fires a shot right on the money.
Yeah, now that's a mistake by the Stampede there, just taking the long shot in on carry. It's not that it was a low percentage shot. They were looking for him to hold it and get a face-off, but it allowed for a very tired crew to get off for the team in red, and now they have a clean 5 players out there ready to go on
Fresh
defense.
horses.
Fresh horses, as
Oh, whiffing on the shot was Harrison. He'll it's tangled up.
that actually ended up in low shorts. Figure that out.
At least it didn't end up in his jersey. Oh, it couldn't because he doesn't have his jersey. Oh, stop it, David.
Or showed up with all his gear, but that was a unique one.
Or sorry, yeah.
That's all right. That doesn't happen very often.
No, yeah.
It happens to the goalie, but not usually a center.
He's ended up in one of his pockets. Back to the point, fired back in behind the net. Canterbury looking like they're so close to setting things up, but they just one sort of a half a pass off as they move up the ice. Apps over the blue line, dumps it in. Hasselman, who was giving chase there, was that Orr, who just about got a piece of that right in front of Hasselman.
Orr took a good angle there. It just didn't come off Hasselman's equipment like they had hoped. That's the first time they've scared Hasselman in quite a while, and the good thing for them is that that's really what they haven't been able to do yet this period. They finally got turned something coming out of their zone into an opportunity for a change. Brown with another stop at the blue line there. That's another excellent glove play by him.
And Hurley with it. Hurley trying to center, can't. And great work defensively, tangling up Roby as he had a little piece of the puck in front of the net. Burns back in his own zone to Freer. Freer forced to behind his net. Being dogged heavily by Eden. Eden almost hustling that puck off of him. And Lowe with it now. Lowe over the blue line, bumped off the puck, rolls to the corner. Roby with it along the boards, loses it. Eden can't quite keep it in. Him and Hurley go at it in the neutral zone. Cross ice pass. Shot, kick to the side. And Fontaine taps it back in behind the net. Stampede struggling to get it out of their own zone at the moment. And Freer dumps it all the way up to Van Sickle, who skipper firing it just wide. Amston in the neutral zone. Fires it up, no one there, intercepted by Brown. Brown on the red line, still has it over the blue line. And not the ref skates this time. It came off his wrist or his hand. Amston with it. Whiffs on that again.
Yeah, the puck's really sitting up quite often for a lot of these passes. It's not necessarily the fault of the player. It's just hopping up over their tape.
Lowe just muscled off the puck on the blue line. And it's batted back into Devils territory.
Keogh Cope looking to set this up. He's looking for the long pass, and that's the mistake that they're going to make here. It's going to come right back at you if you don't pass it correctly.
Mistake there by Brown. Whiffed on that.
And fortunately out to neutral there.
Luckily, yep. And Harrison. Puck bounces to the corner. We're lucky Freer. He's given a free pass on it, and it rolls to the corner. Back to the point. Amston. Puck rolling around in front, and Harrison tangled up. And Carey forced to cover up just out of the crease there.
More than just out of the crease. He had to come out quite a ways in order to put that out. So he had to, you could see the decision making in the process there. He stayed, and then it's like, I got to go.
You could see the gears turning up there.
Yeah, because if you go, there's no backing up on that. You have to make
fully
that play.
committed. Yeah, fully committed. Face off behind the net, rolls behind the net. And up and icing is the call. The Devils came down to Queenstown, and they were looking to deal.
Oh, here we go.
They were in a bind. They were way behind.
Just saying. Hey, when Dave starts freewheeling it here,
I can't go any further. You know, the Charlie Daniels band will have me up on copyright stuff. Freer shot in front of the net. Bounce to the corner. Puck just over the blue line where Burns taps it up. Roby picks up a puck in the neutral zone. And railed around to Apps.
Now the Stampede have to be very content with the way that this is being played out because it's just staying in their half. And the time's ticking off.
Lots of offensive opportunities. Well, offensive possession. Opportunities not, there's been a couple, but.
Yeah, they don't have to be good opportunities if you're taking all the time. He hit his own player there.
Carson Pratt levels Roby. Maybe he wasn't happy with the pass he got or something. Roby's not happy.
No, he is not happy. Rarely do you see somebody that unhappy with the way he got hit by his own player.
He's just come off a wrist injury, so I'm wondering if he maybe tweaked that wrist again.
Yeah, could have been. And that went up and out into the Stampede.
But there's not enough red players out there to hit.
Yeah, apparently not.
Jack Ryobi.
So nobody's sure whose stick that was. Apparently they just give it to somebody.
I think the referee wants to keep it. It was an enigma, so it's not worth keeping.
There you go. So
face off to the right of Hasselman. Brown taps it back to the corner. Coyle can't clear it. Brown has it again. Fires it. And
might be the highest shot you ever see that doesn't hit the roof here.
I think another coat of paint that would have. It just missed hitting that timber. Big thanks to Emily and Joe here. Emily pushing the buttons on the machinery, and Joe, the good-looking guy behind the camera, keeping us in tune. My mom said I had a face for radio and a voice for print. No tripping call.
That's amazing. The skipper's not going for two on that. He upended his player.
All right, here's Amston. So we got a get out of jail free card as Amston takes it over the blue line, still controlling behind the net, still controlling, railed up against the boards and robbed. Puck rolling around behind the net. And
Kaluzny with a good little
beautiful little tap to get past Freer. And he carries all the way in. Carson Pratt is rubbed up against the boards. And Amston fires it up to Freer. Amston will be tired. All that line will be tired after that. Big cross-ice pass, big feed. And a great save by Freer, who fires it behind the net. On to Burns' stick. Lockie Freer feeds McCog. McCog over the blue line. He's got Connor Harrison with him. And he's got Lockie Freer. Back to Harrison. McCog.
That was a great 1-2 pass. Just McCog not really getting a good window to shoot there, but right out in the open and charging in on the slot. Can't beat that.
I think a lot has to be said to Carey on that. Just shut down all the opportunities. Even though McCog had the good shot, there's nothing there to shoot at.
Yeah, Carey plays really big, but as you see, they're all shooting high now, and that is something that he's getting better at, but don't shoot low at Carey. There's no point. He's going to block everything.
White, Dodwell robbed right on the blue line. Connor Harrison puts it back into the corner where McCog has it. McCog feeds the point, and Freer puts it back onto McCog's stick, but it's bounced off of Dallamore's stick right on the blue line and kept in. It's got to be frustrating for the Canterbury team, who are playing really good defense, but they can't get it out. And finally, just as I say that, they do.
Well, they desperately needed a line change there, too.
Yeah, McCog carries to the corner, carries behind the net, tries to center off a skate. Freer back to his brother, Mitchell. Lockie with it, taps behind the net. Canterbury pick it up. McCog robs Orr, and Van Sickle with it over the red line, fires it in. Obviously, after that hit, Roby wasn't too hurt because he's back on. Jack Roby fighting for it in the corner. Still battling for it. He's got Hurley in there with it. Uh-oh.
There's a cross check by Roby. That's going to go, and that's going to cause a fight. And it was a cheap shot by Roby, unfortunately, up into the chin of whoever it was.
Bit of a soiree here.
Yeah, the Devils really have to be careful. Not only are they low on men anyways, I mean, fortunately they get SkyCity back tomorrow from a fight that happened last weekend, but this one's going to change the complex of the game here because it had been fairly clean. This is going to probably be 8 minutes between a few people here.
Yeah, well, 8 minutes left in this, 8 minutes, 8 seconds left in the period. Is just, yeah, you know, the pressure cooker, the lid boiled off. Just obviously Roby took offense to something and made a pretty obvious cross-check.
Yeah, Roby, Hurley, or an Apps going. One of them's going to go for instigation, one of them's going to go for roughing, one of them's going to go for cross-checking, and the fourth one, who knows what that was. Probably just another roughing call. Great
opportunity to thank our sponsors as they iron out this. Looks like they're going to need a supercomputer to figure this one out. But can I please thank SkyCity Queenstown, Nassau Factory, Concrete Brothers, AEWS Legal, Queenstown Health, Cook Brothers Construction, the Film Crew. You happy with that now? Queenstown Health, James Allen Photography, Media Works, Sign It, Impact, Eventifine, Upholstery Workshop, Queenstown, and the Ice Hockey Club. And of course, you know, none of this can happen without the volunteers. You know, they're the ones that are being helping out with the security. They're the ones selling the raffle tickets. They're the ones at the gate taking the tickets. And all those people that are doing all the cleanup afterwards. If you get a chance to thank those volunteers, unfortunately, they're not paid like us. So big thank you to all you people that are watching, that are making nice comments, that are enjoying this game. And obviously those that are here, big thank you. You know, the exciting thing is there is only 8 minutes left in this game, but it all starts again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, same place, same teams.
Yeah, and Dave, I think out of all of this, I think the most amazing thing is we're going to play 5-on-5 hockey here. How did that happen?
I don't know. Like I say, supercomputer.
Yeah,
so 5-on-5, 2 in the box for Canterbury. You got 2 on that side?
Yep, 2 on each, and no time on the board. So 5-on-5 we go. Eden with it down the side.
Eden dances all the way in, makes a beautiful move. And here's a chance for Lockie Freer. Lockie Freer, 1-on-1. Freer sees a shot, takes it. Great save by Carey. That angle is not much for Lockie, but he did a good attempt. Into the corner.
Hopkins upended there.
And Lockie Freer goes behind the net. Hopkins takes Lockie Freer, and Carey covers up.
I think that's because
Carey covered up.
Yeah, but the goal's off the post.
Off its moorings, yes.
There was a big hit there, but I don't think there's anything wrong.
Nothing in it, no. Yeah. Lockie Freer laid Hopkins out, and then Hopkins laid Lockie Freer out. So.
And this game teeters again, 5-on-5.
Yeah, we'll probably iron that one out later.
Yeah, I expected this to be like a 4-on-3 and double minors and things like that. No math. It's wonderful, but
easy math.
Yeah. Van Sickle
shot
with a
on
good shot.
Van Sickle. Beautiful shot right on the pads, though. Some stumbling happening on both sides. Oh, we have Lockie Boniface out there in the cage, number 62, Lockie Boniface. This is his first shift out there for the Stampede. Young member out of the Wakatip High stables. Shot covered up by Hasselman.
Yeah, quick turnover. Dallimore getting a wrister, which is usually his best shot. He didn't get up high enough to bother Hasselman too much there.
Look at the size of Hasselman. The net looks smaller. They might have to measure that net. When you look at Hasselman, he covers a lot of net.
Sure does.
Face off to the left of him. Call. Rails it around. Lockie Freer bats it up where Reese picks it up, being chased by Freer, and it bounces out into Stampede zone. Burns, boogies past a couple. Puck rolling around in front. That was a one-man band. Burns all the way in.
Two opportunities there.
Yep, big rebound, but couldn't tap that in. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left in this third period. 4-1.
And I think the Stampede are quite happy to just keep that clock going.
Yep, just keep out of the box. That's what I would suggest. I'm sure Cam Freer would wish that would happen. Great work by Lowe, but he can't get that final. Here's a chance for McCog. Boogies along that right side. Spinorama, shot.
Oh, what a great glove that was.
I would like to see that again. Yeah. That was an amazing. He was, Carey was on the other side of the ice, on the other side of the net, reached back. Contortionist Carey, we'll call him.
Yeah, McCard with a good wrister, but that was all reflex. Great save by Tim Carey. I think that was an inadvertent whistle. I think they thought he had it in his glove. It flipped up and over. Yeah. So face-off should be at neutral here.
So those penalties or whatever are over. But they weren't penalties because they weren't on anyone.
Well, they were matching minors all the way around, and they have all expired with that stoppage in play, yes.
Did you call them magical minors?
Matching.
Oh.
But, there might have been some magic in that. You never know.
It looked like a pretty intense brawl. But anyway, puck rolling around in Canterbury corner. Canterbury trying to get it out. They can't. Amston glides in front, takes that shot. Back to Hurley on the point, or Carson Pratt, who takes a good shot.
Yeah, Carson Pratt with a wicked little wrister there, and Carey holds on to this one. But once again, as long as the game is over on that right side, with the at least for us, for all the fans here, as long as it's on the left, the Stampede are just going to be quite content to just let the clock run out. They're getting no offense thrown at them by the Devils right now.
And it's not worth getting tangled up in anything.
No, there's no point. They're just seeing this game out very professionally.
True. Taps it back in. Bounce down off of Reese. And the puck rolls into the neutral zone where Boyle carries over the blue line. Boyle centering. Big bounce off a skate.
That actually hit the post.
And a good opportunity for Canterbury. And it fired in behind the net. Carson Pratt rails it up, just out into the neutral zone. Van Sickle, Freer, whiffs on that, dumps it, rails it around. He's all by himself. No one there, but he still keeps going for it. Almost gets it.
Freer's doing a great job because he managed to get that entire line change, and no danger at all to the Stampede, and that was Jackson Fontaine a little bit too quick on that going in offsides.
So as soon as the final bell rings here on this third period, we get whisked away in a limo. We get taken back to our five-star hotel. It's wonderful. They treat us so well. I might go for a massage tomorrow morning. What do you think?
Well, for real, I actually may go play some golf, but we'll see if there's any openings. It's to be seen. But
they say to use a fluorescent ball here in Queenstown so you don't lose it in the snow.
There you go. You know, it's not good if we're just talking about this stuff, and the Red Devils are just getting nothing offensively here. And it's just really been a great show by the Stampede on how to close this game out. There's been no real risk. This might be it.
Dodwell, Delamore scores! You and your big mouth.
Hey,
just stop that nonsense.
Well, it was Delamore right up the slot. It was Delamore with that wrister that I told you he had.
Security, can we get him out of here? Get him out. Get him out now. He cursed us. He was talking about how well the Stampede was doing. And it almost broke Joel's bottle, which is even worse.
Yeah, that's one of those goals that he will remember for a long time because the bottle came straight up.
Stop it right now, Matt. You're not going to get in. I'm going to tell security.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, we're going to have a new announcer. I'll find one. Anyone out there that wants to do it instead of Matt, because he's not invited back.
Yeah, so 4-2 the score.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if they pull Carey here or not. He's definitely looking over to the bench, but I don't know if they're going to go for 6 here.
Skipper whiffs on that, or dances in. Beautiful dance past Coyle. And off.
Now there's a penalty coming here. That's going to be...
that.
Well, not sure, but it was the referee that called that.
Was it a hook?
Yep, that's the call.
On Orr, which he had the...
I don't understand either.
What do you think, Emily? What's your take on it? Penalty? She says it's a penalty. God knows when she talks, they listen.
Yeah, well,
she runs the show here.
they will definitely not be pulling Carey at
No.
this point.
They just want to see it out without getting another goal scored on them.
But the ideal thing, though, for the Red Devils, not that it's a big deal, but for the next minute and 45, they can ice the puck all they want. So they can take some long opportunities to try to get a shorthanded goal. But the odds on that are still long.
Burns across to Freer. Freer wide on that. Amston picks it up on the blue line. Amston cross to McCog, who's forced to the corner. Burns cross to Amston. One-time shot, puck in front, and great clearing by the Canterbury defense. Hasselman doesn't give him a chance by tapping it all the way out. And here's a chance for Eden. Eden, fast guy.
He did.
Scores, shorthanded. We got a 2-minute game here.
And it's 4-3.
I know, but 2 minutes, that's a big 2 minutes coming up.
Yeah, well, the other part of that is the penalty is still on the board for 66 seconds. Obviously, that doesn't wipe it because it's a shorthanded goal. So the Red Devils will still be down to 4 men.
Momentum.
Yep, it is a moment. It is a thing. It can be a fickle mistress, but when she's on your side, it really helps. So 4-3, just a single goal in it.
They might pull.
They should at this point, yes. They don't have a lot to lose, but they won't do it until at least another 45 seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
We know so much about hockey. I hope they're listening to us.
Ah.
Burns with it now. Burns. True.
Anatoly has forgotten more about hockey than I will ever know.
Van Sickle. Van Sickle carries in. Burns. Cross ice to True. True. Roby in the corner.
Devils taking some chances. They're out high on this.
Well, they've got to get possession if they want to do anything. Burns. And there's nothing to lose. Huge heat there. Kept in. Oh, one time it was Hurley. Roby couldn't get a piece of that. Or Hurley couldn't get a piece of it. And it's tapped up and out. Here's a chance for Hurley. Hurley's got Roby. Roby waits. Dumps it in behind the net.
And that just kills time.
Yeah. And turned over.
Long pass up. Eden up the left.
We know Eden. You can't leave him.
Oh, that was close. That was very close. A good save by Hasselman there.
Let me tell you, here it is, just like the book says. 5 seconds left in the penalty. 55 seconds left in the third period. Timeout called. This is hockey at its best. 4-3. Joe, you're shaking here. You're shaking. Hang on to that camera. Emily's in tears. She's jumping up and down. Don't shake things. So, Anatoly's going to pull all the tricks out of the box for this. 4-1 only a few minutes ago.
Yep, it has changed quite a bit, but I don't think Carey's going to see the ice again. The way it looks right now, I don't think he's coming back out unless
face-off is down in the Stampede zone.
Yes, it will be because it was stopped by Hasselman. So it'll be an offensive zone start for the Devils. Now they have 5 players out, but don't be confused by that. That is an empty net on the other side. So 5-on-5 for 5 seconds with an empty net. They'll be bringing out a 6th as soon as they can.
Face off. Pressure's on. Penalty's over. And control is lost by Eden. Apps on the red line. Apps trying to set something up. Cross ice. Or dumps it into Eden.
That's Perver.
Perver carries to the corner. Back to Orr. And here's a chance for...
That's it.
McCog tries a drop kick, and it does it. You got to do that, though.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, they were looking to be a little bit too perfect and a little bit too careful when they were up 6-on-5. That pass came around, and the turnover is a killer right out in the middle because it's just going to get fed all the way down. It is a risky play, though. He had to hit that net, or it would have been an icing call. So
that's right.
It's a good shot.
Yeah. Max McCog with that dead eye.
And that's going to be a call here.
Connor Harrison got bumped offside, knocked onto his butt, and you can see the tiredness in his eyes. He's had a really good game.
You know, I take that back. I'm not really sure who's going to go for this. It may not be a penalty. I'm not sure.
No, it's just the offside call.
No, it is the offside. Yeah, you're right. It was the referee that had his hands in the air.
Oh, did he? Oh, maybe it was a delayed offside. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Back to hockey.
Yeah.
There's not much left.
12 seconds left here.
Yep.
Freer.
And 5-3 is going to be the final.
Lowe gives chase. Atkinson can't get a piece of it. McCog takes a shot. And that ends this exciting Devils Stampede game.
I didn't have any idea that they were going to be able to pull this back because the offense that they put together, 2 shots by Eden on long passes, they hadn't converted any of those all game long, and suddenly they put 2 of them together in the last couple of minutes, and Eden pays them off with good shots.
Really good shots, yep. So if you were to break this down, first period was all, well, not all, but the Christchurch eked out the win on the first period. Stampede dominated in the second period and then sort of traded it off back and forth in that third.
Yeah, I think the play that the Red Devils had in the second, and more specifically the solid play and passing that the Stampede had in the second, that gave them the opportunities. That had those funny goals, but all the opportunities and funny bounces all went their way because they outskated the Devils in the second period. And the fact that these 2 teams are very equal, that second period ended up being what really was the difference in the game today.
Tipped it over. Now this is the next thing to consider. As I said at the beginning, that this isn't a game, it's 2 games, it's 6 periods of hockey. How well will the lactic acid recovery? Dr. Matt, what do you think? What's going to happen tomorrow? Will they get the rest they need?
Well, they'll get the rest they need. They're going to get plenty of fuel and food and all of that. They're also going to get Justin Sideshow back, which is going to help. He's coming off a 2-game suspension for a fight a couple of weeks ago, and that's going to help on the wing play. Any fresh bodies will help, but what really needs to happen tomorrow is not so much they were fresh enough in the sense that they could hit passes. They really just need to connect those passes in the last third, going up the offensive end, because the Stampede have been absolutely solid in defense for 58 minutes tonight.
Fantastic ice hockey. Anyway, we'll wind it up here. Remember, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. But for tonight, that's it. I'm Dave Dubnik.
And I'm Matt Chavez.
Thanks for listening.
See you tomorrow.